Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pinnacle Combat's amateur featherweight title fight. In a battle of undefeated amateur featherweights, Gothenburg's rising star Nick Pierce prepares for his toughest challenge to date. Pierce, a Golden Gloves boxer, uses a hybrid style that showcases his versatility with knockouts and submissions.
Full name, Nicholas John Pierce. I train out of Dubuque here at the gym. Started wrestling. I felt the need to just keep that combat sport going, so I got into, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, straight boxing. I competed in boxing before I had ever gotten into MMA. Love fighting for Harry. Harry's a great guy. He's always got me, solid opponents, and that's really what I'm looking for. During the last Pinnacle fight, came out the second round, and I was able to counter-strike and drop him and finish with strikes, TKO.
Teo Duarte's relentless energy pushes the pace, a key element in a 5-round title fight. Duarte's victory over TJ Berge launched him into featherweight title contention.
I'm Teo Duarte. I train at CICSC. We wrestle, we kickbox, we do submissions and all that. I've been fighting for 2 years. And I got into it because I used to wrestle in high school and I missed it, so I did this. Last time I fought in Pinnacle was in September. And it was a good show, I had fun. I just go there and do crazy stuff, go wild, and hopefully I knock my guy out or take him down on the ground and do my stuff. Hopefully he's ready for me, like I'm ready for him.
He's a decent wrestler. I really feel like I'm going to shut that wrestling game down. He hasn't felt the strikes of someone like me.
Let's do it, let's fight.
I'm going to show him what it's like, to be in there with a real fighter.
I know I'm there to beat him up, take him to the ground, make him cry like a little girl.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds, from the Central Illinois Combat Club, Teo Duarte. And in the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 144 pounds, in the black and white trunks, the current reigning Pinnacle Combat Amateur Featherweight Champion from Gothenburg, Iowa, Nick Pierce.
Terrific round of applause for Nick Pierce.
And just to clear that up, I don't need to necessarily correct Mitch, I don't want to, but Nick is not the reigning champion right now. This is a vacant belt. This is the first time. So just to clear that up for the Teo friends and family.
So again, this is an amateur featherweight championship on the line. And Justin, as you mentioned, first time out, it's an open title as we get set to go fighting with Nick Pierce and Teo Duarte. Black trunks with the white accent is Nick Pierce. Teo Duarte sporting the black trunks, red accent. Sizing each other up as we get started in the first round.
I expect this fight to be very high-paced, a lot of action. Both of these guys have motors, and they don't like to wait around.
High kick by Pierce. I should say by Duarte, sorry. Measuring up as we get started.
Yeah, it's hard to call this fight. I'm just glued to the cage right now, trying to watch.
Neither guy looking to go to the ground here.
Out of the gate, looks like Pierce's stand-up's a little bit crisper. Duarte's hands come down quite a bit.
Is that about timing, getting those initial leg kicks in?
Yeah, it's finding your range, and it's a lot of misdirection. And at the end of the day, they hurt, too. So you kick a guy in that nerve that runs down the side of your leg, a few times. They start to drop their hands to protect it, and then you can move to other parts of the body from there.
Pierce with a forward progress moving in.
Ideally, you want to set those kicks up with some punches maybe first, but it's working for him now. But if you start just throwing a kick with no setup, it's going to get caught eventually.
Combination from Pierce there. Nice left by Duarte first. Pierce landing good blows, now back and forth.
Smart on both guys and to back out there. That was getting a little wild.
That was what I thought it would be. Good first exchange there for those guys. First long exchange.
I always like it when a guy gets dropped like that, has a little blood in his face and smiles like Teo is right now.
A lot of guys get hit, pretty hard, and they fight a little bit differently, and neither of these guys for changing anything. It just shows that they're used to getting tagged in the gym. They're not afraid to get hit. They've been there.
Pierce landing a couple of rights right into the chin of Duarte.
Front kick lands there.
You can't question Teo's chin here. He's got a cut over his left eye, it looks like there. Hopefully that doesn't come into play.
From what I'm seeing so far, great matchup for an amateur featherweight championship.
It'd be pretty hard to find two amateur featherweights that can trade like this kind of technique, this kind of pace.
Both fighters comfortable with staying in the middle of the octagon, staying away from the fence. Now we go to the canvas.
Pierce
There's
took
the end
that
of the first
shot.
round.
Pierce took that shot and got the takedown right away. You kind of get lulled into a false sense of security there if you've been trading punches and kicks the whole round, and you kind of forget that takedowns are always there too.
That does kind of sit with the judges. The takedown didn't do anything at the end of the round, but with the judges, that might sit in their head at the end. You get that picture at the end of the round of Pierce on top, and that may have cemented the round. I would give it to Pierce anyways. He dropped him once, showed a little bit more aggression, he was a little crisper, and had more damage. I think I'd give that one to Pierce.
Yeah, I agree. You see a lot more these days, a close round. You see the three judges in any organization always score it differently, it seems, and for different reasons and whatnot. And I thought Pierce already won the round specifically with the kicks. Punches were pretty even, I thought. Thought he might have been getting the better of those too. That takedown just gives you one more check mark to give him the 10-9 round, I believe.
Again, an amateur featherweight championship. It's Pinnacle Combat 15. Five Flag Center in Dubuque, Iowa, and here we go.
Like you were saying, JT, that those are my favorite kind of fighters. The guys that sit at the end of the bar and you have no idea he's the toughest guy in there. The Carlos Condits of the world, and BJ Penn was kind of that guy for a long time, looked like a little Cabbage Patch Kid. And Pierce kind of, I don't see anybody backing down from a stare down with that guy, and that'd be a pretty grave mistake.
With that being said, though, Duarte, what's he going to do in this second round to try to size up? If you're giving that first round leaning towards Pierce, Duarte, he was willing to engage, but he's got to get back in there.
I've only seen him in his last fight for us, and he just fights the same way, and it's just forward, 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 and
he needs to keep those hands up. That's what's going to hurt him
brutal
here.
right to the face by Pierce. Knee into the chest.
Oh.
Combination against the...
That was a knee to the face.
Okay, as a referee calls timeout.
It's not the end of the fight. It was an actually illegal knee. Unintentional. It's great work by the referee to see that, actually. Teo looks okay.
Have to see the replay here. I was thinking he got him in the upper chest, but it must have got up into his chin.
It slid right up, unfortunately. I think it was unintentional. And Teo looks fine, which is good. They're going to give him a couple minutes here to clear his head, but...
Yeah, I think Teo's okay with it. He just wanted to keep fighting.
Yeah, I think he was afraid that the fight was stopped, actually.
Once again, as we get set to fight, once again, Nick Pierce in the black trunks with the white trim. Teo Duarte, black trunks and red trim. Pierce going right back at it with the kicks.
Now, one thing I did not see, I didn't see the ref signal that there was a point loss, and that's huge, actually, that he didn't lose a point for that.
So he sees it as collateral damage sliding off the chest?
Yeah, it was incidental. I don't think that was on purpose. Now, if it happens again, though, it'll be a different story.
Sure enough.
Cut the scalp of Pierce there, I just noticed. Duarte's got quite a bit of blood coming out of his nose now.
I think that's the main source there. The blood we're seeing as they were engaging each other.
Aside from keeping his hands up, I noticed Duarte keeps moving just straight in and straight back. And that opens you up quite a bit more too, because your opponent can cut an angle there, which means you kind of step to one side or the other, and then you're at an angle to where you can strike around his defenses.
And I think we're seeing Pierce show off the multiple disciplines between the punches and the kicks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's technically an amateur. He's not getting paid, but to call him an amateur really isn't too fair. I mean, with that Golden Gloves boxing, being a Golden Gloves champion, and just his experience, he's an amateur on paper, but he's way more than an amateur in the ring.
You know, it takes a lot to put that all together, too, and to do the right things at the right time, the right disciplines and whatnot. And he's doing a great job at transition, bringing everything, bringing it all into the total package.
Duarte looking to move in on a takedown. That does not work out as Pierce takes control from the top.
You heard the crowd yelling knee there. Duarte, you know, appeared to be open for a knee, which one, he was down, so it'd be illegal on that stretch in that sense, and it'd also be illegal as, like we said, these are amateurs in Iowa. We're not allowed knees to the head.
And when you clarify that, when they're down, it's a hand on the canvas. Okay, so that's the end of our second round. How are things shaping up here for round two, guys?
Definitely another round for Pierce. That'd be one where maybe the half-point scoring system that a lot of people are trying to get introduced around might, I wouldn't call it a 10-8 round, but that might have been a 10-8 and a half,
Yeah, I kind of agree. The 10-9 system we got from boxing, it's kind of doesn't work with MMA. I'd like to see either a half, or I would like to see a 10-8 be more commonplace. The system we have now, it's just there's too many 10-9s. A 10-9 I think should be, I really don't know who won that, but I have to give it to somebody. When someone's clear cut, I'd like to see it be a 10-8.
Now, guys, this is our only fight on the card tonight. Since it is a championship that will go, it's scheduled for 5 rounds, 5 3-minute rounds. And so far, this is the first fight we've had to make it out of the second round.
Yeah, and we've got the doctor in the cage here checking over Duarte. I know his nose is bleeding. There may be a cut or two around the mouth area.
Once again, an amateur belt is up for grabs here in this fight tonight. It's an amateur featherweight championship with Pinnacle Combat.
Duarte pleading his case there to keep the fight going.
They're going to call the fight.
Doctors waved it off.
They waved it off. Teo Duarte.
I have never seen that guy frown, be unhappy, even in a loss like this with a doctor stoppage. He jogged over. Oh, he's a great guy. I can't wait to see him in our cage some more.
Yeah, I wish he was in my training room. I think I'd like to train with this guy, Just got a good attitude. You can tell he takes it to the gym, puts his time in.
You won't find two better guys in MMA than these two right here.
Well, that was a surprise at the break between rounds. So that will call it at the end of the second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 rounds of furious action, the Pinnacle Combat Featherweight Championship, once again retained by Nick Pierce.
Those belts aren't easy to buckle.
Congratulations to our champion, Nick Pierce. We also like to thank Teo Duarte for putting up a great show. An excellent fight, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And now, Pinnacle Combat President Harry McLaris attaches the Featherweight Championship belt. Nick, congratulations. How does it feel?
A little surreal right now. I feel like I'm in a dream.
Is that belt pretty heavy?
Yeah, it weighs about as much as one of my legs.
I bet you're looking forward to getting cleaned up.
Yeah, absolutely. It
was a great fight. Hey, anyone you want to give a shout out to? Your friends, sponsors? Sounds like the whole town of Guttenberg turned out again.
Yes. I love all you guys. I love you. I'd like to make a special thank you to Dr. Greg Letman, Letman Chiropractic, Supplement City, for their amazing support. Also the Dam Bar in Guttenberg. Any other sponsors I'm forgetting? I'm a little on cloud 9 right now. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Pierce, Pinnacle Combat's Featherweight Champion.